When is the perfect time to have dinner on a cruise ship? Is it the elegant formal dinners, the specialty restaurants, or the massive buffets filled with endless choices? Surprisingly, many experienced cruisers would give a completely different answer, because the most beautiful dinner on a cruise ship isn't always about the food. It's about the moment, the atmosphere, the view, the feeling. And for many passengers, that moment happens just before sunset, as the sky begins to change colors, as the ocean reflects golden light in every direction, and as the ship slowly sails toward another destination. Something about dinner during golden hour feels different. The conversations become calmer, the photographs become better, even ordinary meals seem more memorable, because you're not simply eating dinner anymore. You're experiencing one of the most beautiful moments the ocean has to offer, and unlike many luxury experiences on board, this one doesn't cost anything extra. All it requires is good timing. Tonight, we're exploring why sunset dinner has become one of the most unforgettable experiences on cruise ships. The atmosphere, the psychology, the sail-away views, and the reason many passengers remember these dinners long after the cruise itself ends. Every day on board follows a rhythm. Breakfast brings excitement, lunch brings activity, afternoons are filled with entertainment and exploration. But then something special begins to happen. The sun slowly starts its descent toward the horizon. The bright blue sky becomes softer. Orange and golden colors begin spreading across the ocean. And suddenly, the entire ship feels different. Passengers gather near railings. Cameras appear everywhere. People pause their activities, because no matter how many sunsets you've seen on land, a sunset at sea feels different. There are no buildings, no traffic, no distractions, just an endless horizon stretching in every direction. And when dinner happens during this exact moment, the experience becomes something more than a meal. You sit beside enormous windows. You watch sunlight dance across the water. And every few minutes, the scenery changes completely. The ocean becomes gold, then orange, then deep shades of red and purple. It's a moving performance created entirely by nature. And unlike a theater show, no two sunsets are ever exactly the same. That's part of what makes these dinners feel so special. You know you're witnessing a moment that will never happen in exactly the same way again. For many cruise passengers, the most memorable dinner isn't during the middle of the cruise, it's on embarkation day, the very first evening. As the ship begins leaving port, this experience is often called the sail-away dinner, and it carries a unique feeling that only happens once during every voyage. Passengers are excited, everything feels new. The adventure is just beginning. As dinner starts, the ship slowly pulls away from land. Cities begin shrinking in the distance, buildings disappear, the shoreline becomes smaller and smaller, and eventually, the ocean takes over completely. It's a powerful moment, because you're not just watching scenery, you're watching everyday life disappear behind you. Work, responsibilities, stress, schedules. All of it remains on shore while the ship moves toward something unknown. That's why sail-away dinners often feel emotional. The food may be excellent, but what people remember most is the feeling, the sense that the journey has finally begun. For a few hours, life feels simpler, and the horizon feels full of possibilities. Here's something interesting. Many passengers genuinely believe food tastes better during sunset dinners. But why? The answer may have less to do with the food itself, and more to do with psychology. Scientists have long known that atmosphere influences how people experience meals. Lighting matters, views matter, mood matters, and sunset creates the perfect combination of all three. The warm colors naturally make people feel relaxed. The ocean view reduces distractions. The slower pace encourages people to enjoy the moment. And because passengers are already in vacation mode, the experience becomes even stronger. A simple dessert feels more special. A normal conversation feels more meaningful. A basic dinner becomes a memory. That's the hidden power of cruise dining. The ship isn't just serving food, it's creating an environment where people connect emotions to the experience. And years later, many passengers won't remember exactly what they ordered, but they'll remember how they felt while watching the sun disappear into the ocean. In the end, The most beautiful dinner on a cruise ship isn't necessarily the most expensive. It isn't always the fanciest restaurant, and it isn't always the meal with the highest ratings. Sometimes, the most unforgettable dinner is simply the one that happens at the perfect moment. A table beside a window, a calm ocean, a golden sunset slowly fading into darkness, and the realization that for a brief period of time, there's nowhere else you need to be. That's what makes sunset dining so memorable. It combines everything people love about cruising into one experience: the ocean, the atmosphere, the freedom, the beauty, and the feeling of being completely present in the moment. Long after the cruise ends, many passengers forget specific meals. They forget menu items, they forget prices, but they remember that sunset, that horizon, that feeling. Because sometimes, the best part of dinner isn't what's on the table, it's what's happening beyond the window. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more cruise experiences, hidden moments, and cinematic travel stories here on Sail Smart. And tell me in the comments, what's the most beautiful place you've ever had dinner? Until next time, travel smart, sail smarter.